So, Tim,
Yeah.
we have a question to ask you.
Okay.
Bacon and I are branching off
Nice.
to perform on various nights, typically weeknights, that certain venues have a need for musicians.
Very cool.
And so we're trying to come up with a name. So Bacon and I have a list of, there's probably 25 or 30 names on here. Bacon's going to give you his top 3.
Okay.
He may need a moment to look through.
That's fine. So why don't you give me your top
I'm going to
3?
give you my top 3.
Okay. In no particular order.
And then you're going to listen in no particular order.
Okay.
You're going to listen to all 6. And then you're going to give us some Timmy wisdom on what you think we should do.
Okay.
And it's okay if you don't pick any of them. Maybe they all suck.
Hey,
Who knows?
it's okay.
Yeah. One of my favorites, BB Jammin'. BB Jammin', BB Jammin'.
Okay.
I mean,
and I hope you like jamming too.
we're not a Jamaican band, but we could definitely add some Bob Marley.
Okay.
I liked Shake and Bacon. You can be Shake, I'll be Bacon.
Okay.
Shake and Bacon.
I also liked Bacon Swift.
Why?
Even though we're not like a Taylor Swift cover band, I don't know. It's just funny.
Okay.
Bacon Swift.
Bacon.
There was one that I think something like For All the Meat or something like that. For All the Bacon. It was For All the Bacon.
Okay. For all the bacon.
This one's For All the Bacon. Hey.
Okay. Muggsy.
I also liked the ham bones. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's just fun to say.
Okay.
There's another one on there. BB something something.
Sparkle time.
BB Sparkle Time.
I came up with that. That was actually the first one I came up with and threw on the list.
Oh boy, so many options.
Yeah, it's tough because I like the focus on the bacon or the meat or the play on his last name kind of thing.
We have the meats.
What if we called ourselves Meat Sweats?
But he has to wear jeans every
What's his
time.
name?
Oh, come on.
What's his name? Ratcliffe?
Daniel?
No, not the actor, the singer. Nathaniel Rateliff.
Oh,
that was close.
son of a bitch.
Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats.
Oh,
So what if we called ourselves the Meat Sweats? Or
Brian Johnson and the Meat Sweat.
No,
or
Azure
just
Vox
Brian and the Meat. Yeah, Azure and the Meat
Brian
Sweats.
and the Meat Sweat. Like, oh, who's the Meat Sweat? Oh, that's this sweaty asshole over here.
The guy in jeans.
See the guy that's been in jeans pounding things with his fists for the last hour?
Bam, bam.
The Meat Sweats. That's a fun one.
It's kind of like the leg warmers too. The meat warmers.
Jesus.
It's so hard to pick a name. Do you have any that you would throw in the soup pot, Tim?
The Cocoa Bongos.
Well, you've got bacon and sizzle.
Plan B.
Plan B was another
B,
good one.
yeah.
ADHB, I thought was a good one.
Okay.
We would have to come up with what ADH stands for.
How about
Attention Deficit Hyperactive Bacon.
that's pretty good.
I'm bacon.
Yeah. What about something, like instead of, you could do like me bacon instead of me campo. It's like me bacon.
Me bacon.
Yeah, me bacon.
I don't know. Is there another way we can do bacon without saying bacon?
That's why I like the Meat Sweats or like ADHB or whatever. Like I was trying to think of different ways that we could kind
Like
of.
The Cured is actually a pretty
I
good
know that was good, but then we also have to add some The Cure songs to our list, right?
Yeah.
I would be happy to do that.
Honestly, that would like Les Zeppelin. Like they're a Led Zeppelin cover band, all female.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
you read my
It
mind.
is.
Okay.
That's a real band.
You could do like bacon wrap medleys or bacon wrap something like that. That'd be cool.
Then we have to do all
Bacon
medleys.
wrapped Brian.
We could do that.
At the end of every song, Bacon just gives me this big sweaty hug in his jeans.
Well, then you might as well just call yourselves the Meat Sweats.
I don't want to go up and be like, what's the band called? Oh, we're the Meat Sweaters. Ew. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to give you my number, but I've rethought that.
Our sticker is just like Meat Wad from Teen Hunger Force.
Shake yelling at him.
Yeah.
This is PODCASTNV.
Wow. Welcome, boys, to another episode of PODCASTNV.
PODCASTNV.
Time is flying. Like, we're well into summer now. Like,
Too well.
like,
Well,
I feel like
summer.
it was just the holidays.
Sun's getting closer.
Well, we got some updates, right?
Yeah.
In case you missed it.
Yeah.
In case you missed it.
Yeah. What did we miss? Let's think.
We went to Dewey.
We did do
Heck
Dewey.
yeah, we just
Look
got
at that.
back from Dewey.
How cool was that?
That was pretty cool. It was so hot.
It was.
It's so hot.
Yeah,
But they hooked us up.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have to lug around all that equipment. I mean, we had our equipment, right? But we didn't have the usual setup is the speakers and the lights and the mixer and running cables and doing all this stuff. And we had a guy that did that. That was nice.
We're outside on the water.
That breeze off the water wasn't bad.
It was.
That's true. And they did have plenty of fans running, so that was helpful.
Yeah.
When I played at Jimmy's earlier in the year, actually it was last month.
At Dewey.
Jimmy's Grill, yep, in Dewey. That place is fantastic. I love that spot, but the air does not flow well through that cone. The heat definitely rises, which is nice. That's probably why it's kind of designed that way. But they don't have the fans up there, so in that instance, I also needed my fan, just like we had it at Rusty. But yeah, it's been a freaking hot summer.
Yeah. But it was pretty cool that, we've been to the Rusty Rudder multiple times now and seen bands and acts and stuff there. And to be able to now say that we performed there,
Yep,
because,
we've shared the stage.
we did it. That was pretty cool.
We got to give a shout out to Kathy DeToro,
Yes.
for hooking us up with that. She made the spiderweb connections. She might like that reference. Yeah, she hooked us up.
Yeah.
We appreciate it very much.
Very cool.
Very nice.
And one of us learned a lesson that maybe we shouldn't be wearing jeans to such hot events like that. Right, Brian?
I didn't have to learn that lesson.
Oh, right, Bacon?
yeah, I did learn that lesson. In my defense, I thought it was going to be cooler.
In the summer.
Yeah, because not every
Under
day
the
is
sun.
100 degrees, and not every day is not. And I figured we'd be right on the water. There would be a nice breeze. I figured that would make up for it, but
Did you bring shorts just in case?
did not.
But thankfully, a store nearby did.
They sure did.
They were like, we think some people are going to appreciate these shorts.
They're going to come to the beach with jeans on.
Well-
Be the only person in town in jeans.
I will say what was great, though, unlike our shopping experiences with Brian, Bacon walks right in.
How
he
many
goes,
experiences? Come on.
Bacon walks right in. He goes, "This is the pair that I want. It's my size. It's got a string thingy to tie it, and I'm going to go check out." And we were like, "Wow, this was easy."
Yeah, we didn't even
Thank you.
get to enjoy the air conditioning of the store because I was in and out so fast.
You were.
True story.
Yeah.
Were the shorts like $10?
No, they were like $40.
Oh my God.
$39.99.
Yeah.
Oh, see, it's just under.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Peak
there you go.
season. That's how they get you.
Yeah. In Delaware, there's no tax. It was $39.99.
Yep.
Nice.
Got a call from my bank. Hey, did you make a transaction at this weird place in Delaware? And yeah, we did. We did do that.
Yes, I did. I was hot.
Yeah.
I was dying.
I needed the sweat to dissipate from my nethers.
Exactly.
And the band after us were Oriole fans, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the Chris
Got
Diller
to talk to
band.
them. Yep.
Yeah, they were cool. They were very good. I appreciated them.
When I was there at Jimmy's last month, we stayed. Did I stay? Yes, we stayed. We made, actually, no, I'm sorry. Now because I've been there now twice. We were there for a week, and it just happened that I also got booked for the gig that night. So yeah, we were there for a couple nights. Anyway, one of the nights, the last nights we were there, Chris Diller was performing, but he was the closer out on the deck at Rusty Rudder. So I got to see him before, so I kind of knew what to expect. But I think he had an extra guy with him, which was the one playing the keyboard and the melodica, and that was cool. Nice. That was a neat experience.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. They were great. A little bit, not a knock against them anyway, but they were a little bit slower paced than we were. We're more of an up tempo band than they are.
Yeah.
But they were good.
So maybe next time we could suggest, hey, why don't we go in the middle?
Yeah. You can get the crowd
Start
ready.
slow, work your way up to Radio Envy,
Well, we are the middle act on September 14th. We're the 5 to 8.
Yep.
Right?
So nice.
We're going to bring our 8 game, right?
Hey.
Hey, and maybe I can wear jeans since it'll be September.
That's true.
Yeah, go for it, buddy. whatever floats your nuts.
All right.
Awkward.
What else did we do? We played
Private events.
Private event. We had party on the deck of a very nice gentleman's house in the middle of Manassas. Beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah, big backyard.
Yeah, great crowd. Not so much for the bugs, though. There was a lot of bugs there as the night went on.
That was funny when Brian picked up the cicada trying to be all cool, like, look, guys, look at it. And then it was like, and he was like,
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Well, driving home, I was driving and I felt something funny on my back. It almost felt like a pinch, and I was like, "Oh man!" And I went like this, and I felt like the bump.
Was it the girl from The Ring?
No. So I like reach back, and I'm like trying to drive as I'm like reaching back and I reach it on my shoulder, and I pull out a beetle. It's just like at me, and I'm like, pull the window down and throw it out.
Was it like Joe's apartment? He's like,
Hey, dude. Get me out of here.
Kind of felt that way, but I
place
mean,
sucks.
it was crazy because it was under my shirt. It wasn't like it was over top. It was like under my shirt. It was weird.
right. Wow.
It was getting a little too comfortable.
yeah, he's about to make a home.
That's too much talk about.
What was the other one that we did? The other private event? It was literally the day before it, but I'm trying to
we
picture
did
where it was.
Tanner's.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
the winery that
The winery.
I was trying to put myself in the place, and I couldn't think of it.
That was another hot show.
Oh my
Good
God.
Lord.
It was hotter inside than it was outside.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's one that we've done for the last 2-3 years, I think. I think we skipped a year.
Yeah.
Or they didn't have it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did a smaller one that didn't require music, and we were uninformed.
They had wine slushies.
Yeah.
That were really good.
That was nice. The White Hall Estate, I believe.
Yeah, it was kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Kind of. It was definitely in the
Mary was our server. She seemed
Yeah.
like she was kind of the resident of
Yeah.
that area. She knew everybody and knew what was going on.
And you slit your finger right before we went to play.
And Bethany was also working there, and she took care of me. Like,
Yeah.
I still have the scar. But it sucks, man, playing guitar and you're sweating and it's just dripping into your freaking open wounds. And you're like,
But you were using that, what was that called? Liquid
Liquid
skin
Yep.
or something like that, right?
It's got new skin or
New skin. There you go. Yep.
Yeah. You said that you had some. You just didn't bring any at the
I
show.
didn't. I have it now. So
Yeah.
then if it happens again, we're
Thanks,
good.
Dad.
Yeah, wow.
Sorry,
Do what
Daddy.
I can. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, you got to be prepared. You got to have all that stuff. And now I have it, right?
Yeah.
Because I stopped at CVS to grab some.
There you go.
Perhaps I should get some too, just in case.
Yeah.
We talked about this actually for you and your hands, because you're smacking the drum heads with your bare hands instead of mallets.
Or sticks.
The guy that we saw at in the Chris Diller band at Rusty Rudder, he had his fingers taped up.
He did.
He had them wrapped
Really?
up in like athletic tape. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. And then I also thought, like, what if you had, I don't know if it would help, but you know, like how gymnasts put the talcum powder on their hands when they're doing the bars and stuff. Like, what if you had something like that? Maybe that would kind of help. But then you brought up, it's not so much your skin, it's more so like
the internal,
like the
bones.
Yeah. The bones.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt my skin. Like, it doesn't hurt. Like, if you hit somebody too hard, if you give somebody 5 too hard, you feel that burn on your hand. It doesn't hurt that way. It hurts in my bones.
Yeah.
But I think the reason he had athletic tape on his hand, because he had a 16-inch crash cymbal, and he was hitting it pretty hard. So I think that's why he had the tape on his hands, or at least part of the reason. Yeah. So I mean, if I was to get a crash cymbal, I'd probably need to put tape on my hands too, because it would be hard to make it make noise with just my hands.
He also had wind chimes.
He did.
So maybe that was part of the deal.
He had a pretty decent setup. I'll give him all the credit in the world for it.
He had found some really cool moments to use all of the instruments that he had in front of him. That was really neat.
So it's something cool that came up, just to kind of transition a little bit, and something that we can share with our listeners, was people were commenting on your tattoo sleeve, Brian, at one of our recent shows. So I thought it'd be cool, since both of you have tattoo sleeves and you run tattoos, if you wanted to kind of break down some of the meanings behind them And since Brian always gets commented, I'm going to go to Bacon first.
I was going to say, should we talk about your tattoos first?
I have none.
And why don't we start there?
Yeah, let's start there. Why don't you have any tattoos, Tim?
have any tattoos?
Tattoo-less Tim?
I do not like needles. I do not. Yeah, it's.
But
something,
we talked about this many years ago that we were going to get tattoos.
So we talked about it, but you talked
And I
about
jumped
it like
into
we
it.
agreed on it. We talked about it, but I never agreed to anything. So yeah, it's I don't know. Would I get one? I don't know. I'd have to really have my arm twisted. So I'm just not a big fan of just needles and all that kind of stuff. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
So doctor's office needles still counts.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Okay.
It's the worst. If I have to go and get an IV, that's why like I see people post like, oh, there's a blood drive and, I gave blood today and stuff. And God bless those that do. God bless you. You're amazing. Thank you for what you do. I can't.
All my blood is mine.
Like, I can't even look. Like, when I have to be at the doctor's office and I have to take blood, I can't even look.
I get anxious, but I recognize it's a part of life. Like, it's something that I just have to get over mentally.
It's just weird. I don't know what it is. Like, it's like one of those, like, I can't.
So you're saying we have to get you drunk enough for
You're
this
not allowed to get a
work?
tattoo if you're drunk.
Well,
That's not true.
What if I know a guy?
I think so.
If you don't say anything, they won't ask you in a lot of cases, unless you're falling over. I mean, I used to not care about needles, but in my 20s, I had an extended hospital stay, and I kind of got over, now I have like an anxiety thing with needles too.
Sure.
But I don't look at tattoo needles the same way as I do like IV needles. It's a completely different thing for me.
Yeah, but doesn't it hurt?
The sensation
hurts, but it's a different
is
sensation than
different.
what you get.
It's almost like a heat than it is like a piercing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like a single piercing. It feels
like
more
a rug burn.
like a vibration. Yeah, kind of like a rug burn. But then it goes away. Like it dissipates rather quickly, and then they put like a cooling thing on it, and then you wrap it up, and then honestly, in like an hour, you don't really feel it. Now the next day, you're a little sore, maybe.
Yeah.
Because the ink that they put in your skin, not all of it stays, right? So some of it comes out. So your body's kind of like
Rejecting
working.
it.
Yeah. But that's just part of the process. And honestly, it's evolved over so much time that like this, like you, after having a few tattoos, like you obviously know what to expect. But even on my first one, like my calf was my first tattoo.
It was a mushroom man, right?
Yeah, little running mushroom man. That one didn't hurt at all. And some people say that the calf is their most sensitive spot. I've gotten the same thing with ribs, where I got tattooed here. I felt like I didn't feel it at all.
Right.
And I'm not using the numbing cream. Like I don't ask for any of that special treatment. They just do it.
I saw something where it was like a professional athlete or a rapper or something. They actually request to be put to sleep. And so I think that might be the only way I could do it is if like,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like out.
Let's get some Fireball.
then-
You'll forget everything.
No. But yeah, I thought that was crazy that they get a anesthesiologist, I guess, and get put out and then they get their tattoos. But those are like the ones where like they get like their whole back done or something like that.
But also, doesn't
that's
that
just crazy?
Doesn't it like triple the cost of the
must.
whole process, right? To have to
you would
pay
think.
for a doctor to be present and to administer medication and
More
so on.
reason for me to just save money and not get one and just appreciate y'all's tattoos.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Fine.
So Bacon, tell us about yours.
Yeah. What was your first? What was your last?
My first tattoo was actually covered up by my sleeve. I got a fireball bursting out of
Lift
my
your sleeve so we can see it.
You can't. It's covered
that
up by
sleeve.
this here. Now there's like a music mirror ball there.
Okay.
That hangs from the ceiling, and it used to be a fireball bursting out of my skin with like black around it and stuff. And
Was this like the Hunger Games?
so that tattoo I got from a guy who was referred to me by a friend of mine who said he worked at a coffee shop. He's like, this guy comes in, he's a tattoo artist, he'll do it in my living room if you come over to my house. And I was like, oh, that sounds legit.
Yeah, that's
so. If he comes in with
How old
his
are you?
trunk, I was 18.
Okay.
And he opens up his trunk, he gets all clean needles out and stuff. He wasn't.
Sounds like a scene from Pulp Fiction.
So he does my tattoo.
Yeah, it's clean.
Sizzles it on like a piece of aluminum foil.
He does my
go ahead.
tattoo. He does I would say 7 out of 10. He missed some coloring and he was a little bit out of the lines in certain spots. So I said, hey, man, can I get back in touch with your dude? It's like a week later. He's like, I can't. He's in jail. And I was like, oh, man.
He's practicing inside now.
Yeah, he's doing it with a pen, a ballpoint pen now. So then I got that tattooed covered by this one. But I also have a symbol of intertwined tuning forks on my forearm.
Okay.
I just think that's a cool design.
Now that one, I remember you getting when we were in Rock Soup.
Yeah, and it still looks relatively new.
Yeah.
I think the color on that
It is
really
nice and clean.
Yeah. It's the Yamaha emblem, but it's for Yamaha drums because I play Yamaha Stage Custom, Yamaha Radine. Those are my drum sets.
Did Yamaha pay for that tattoo?
No, they did not.
Did Mi Campo pay for yours?
That's a good point, Tim.
That's not Mi Campo. I mean, it is.
Me disagree.
Good one, Bacon.
So this sleeve, it was cool. I went to the place and I said, hey man, I have an idea for a tattoo, and what I wanted to do is like start in one place where there's a drum set, and out of the drum set comes like a rainbow music staff, and the music staff has notes on it, and it hits like a Pink Floyd prism, and it turns into DNA, and the DNA still has music notes on it. And he was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And he's like, how do you want to do it? And I was like, I don't really know. And like, there's other elements I want to add. Like, I want to do some like really iconic music moments, like Abbey Road, the Beatles walking across the street, walking across the crosswalk. I said the Pink Floyd thing. You know, I said like I'd like to incorporate the kind of like my journey in music, from the drum set to the congas, that type of thing. And he like mapped it out and drew it on the thing and put it on my arm. And I think 20 hours later, I had a sleeve tattoo.
It looks awesome.
It is cool how complex it is and how much thought, really went into it from both you and the artist.
Yeah, I really appreciate the extra stuff like the stars and the swirls and the smoke and stuff that he did.
It's a tough thing I've learned from my experience working with artists. You might have a clear picture on like the things that stand out, but then what do you do with that negative space?
Right.
Like how do you kind of fill in those gaps, and what can you do to make it feel all incorporated? A lot of people do like roses, and they just do multiple roses. And so that's kind of a thing, or the cherubs or whatever. But
yeah, I mean, and if I had thought a little bit more in depth about it, I might have added a couple different things like Jimi Hendrix Guitar on Fire or something like that, added that to it.
But you still have space.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that.
Do it,
yeah. But like it starts off, the top is Animal playing the drums, and the detail on Animal is pretty intense. Like you can see individual fur on it. It's pretty cool.
With that big old head of his.
Yeah, and like it's got flames and laser lights behind him and smoke.
Tim, don't you want an animal on your arm or body somewhere?
No, I think Bacon's got it. That's cool.
Yeah, it needs a couple of things to be touched up. Like after a while, I was like, that needs to be fixed. Like one of the stand thingies there, the Pink Floyd prism could use some work, touch up, but generally it's in good shape.
That's very cool.
So I was thinking for you, Tim, I don't know.
Here we go.
Well, for both of you, Steve-O has a tattoo of his face on his back, right? With the thumbs up.
Right.
So Tim, what if you did something like this? If you go to the Rev Media website and you look under gear.
What's the website?
There's revmediapro.com.
It's www.com.
There's a picture of Tim holding up the tambourine. Tim, what if you just did this on your back?
That would be an amazing tattoo. With the way the tambourine is.
Did you see that?
How about no, Scott?
Come on, it's beautiful. Could you imagine all the strands of your beard getting tattooed in your back?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So those the ones that are visible across the table, Bacon, the one on your forearm and then the one on your full right arm. Are those kind of your most prominent ones, the ones that you think of, when you're, I don't know, laying in bed late at night, like, yeah, my tattoos are cool. Do you have other ones?
No, I don't have any other tattoos. I would like to maybe do a half sleeve on my other side with my family crest.
Is that like 2 pieces of sizzle and bacon, or what's that?
So this may
Skillet.
be surprising. And people probably think of bacon when they think of my name, like actual bacon. But the Bacons actually were kind of like lords back in the day. Oh. We have a castle over there. We have like a real legit crest.
Like royals?
It's in Wales. Yeah.
I thought you'd never be royals.
Hear ye, hear ye. Sir
I'm
Bacon.
trying to think of the Lord's lyrics. I can't. Like, something about rulers is next. I know. Damn it. But yeah, I mean, we weren't royalty, but we were landowners. Wow. We were lords.
Okay.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Pig farmers?
No, blacksmiths actually.
Ah.
Baconthorpe in Old English. I mean,
Baconthorpe?
Baconthorpe is the original.
They shortened it to Bacon? Mm-hmm. Baconthorpe is cool.
We traced our lineage.
Yeah.
Where did Thorpe go?
It fell off.
Oh, okay.
The
Poor guy.
Bacons and the Thorpes. Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
You won't go away.
They traced our lineage back to a guy named Grimbaldus in the 1400s.
You're going to have to say that name
Yeah,
again.
3 times fast.
Grimbaldus.
Grimbaldus. And the
We're the house of
and the
Slytherin.
Sorcerer's Stone.
House
The crimes of Grimbaldus.
It's Harry Potter.
Oh no, it's Johnny Depp. What if we all got Tim's face on our backs?
I wouldn't get it as big as Steve-O's is. It would be like a smaller, like
So
on
what
my
if-
shoulder blade type
What if
thing.
we did this? I mean, you watch, sometimes they have these TV shows where people willingly, maybe they're compensated, I don't know, where they...
Ink Masters?
Yeah, like stuff like this. Well, but even more, like the guy that turned himself into a lizard, where his whole face is,
that's nuts.
and he's got like implants under his skin,
Yeah.
and he whatever. What if you took the push button from the bacon doll and you put it under your skin, like on your back, so that people would be like, "I'm bacon."
I feel like I feel like that would get infected. I don't think that's a good idea.
No,
What happens when the battery dies?
People just unzip it, take the battery out, put it in, zip
so you
it.
want a zipper on my back? Okay.
I mean, if people can get implants under their skin, then
that's-
surely you could get a voice box.
That's medical grade silicone, though.
thinking.
It's not some plastic voice box made in China that probably has lead in it.
Make it Bluetooth then, so you can connect it to your phone. So there's no speaker or anything. So they just like touch you, and it's just like a flat. No, we're not going for this.
I don't think I could live with that. Anytime I got like had a warm embrace with somebody, it would be like, I don't think that would really go over well because everybody would start laughing. And
That would be the best icebreaker.
How many people are in this embrace?
Could you imagine walking up to a girl at a bar and you're introducing yourself, and she's like, "And what's your name?" And you're like, "I'm Bacon."
she would probably think I was a mute and couldn't talk.
If all your answers were only "I'm Bacon,"
I'm
yes,
bacon. I'm like, I am Groot.
exactly.
She's like, it's really hot outside. He's like, I'm bacon. And this has been.
Yes, no, that's good.
And this has been not exciting, but true.
So you're gonna do it then, right? No, come on.
No, if I was young and impressionable in my 20s, maybe. But now that I'm
Things are reversible. I don't know if you saw that Steve-O got a penis tattooed by Post Malone over his eyebrow.
I don't know how to tell you this, but Steve-O is not my role model.
Apparently, he's Brian.
He's seriously kind of what it makes me wonder.
I'm just saying, people get paid to do this stuff. There's got to be a way for me to pay you to get this shit on your skin.
When I was in my 20s, I lived in.
You're seriously getting under his skin. That's true.
I know, I could tell.
When I was in my 20s, I lived in Westchester, and that's where Bam Margera lived.
Yeah.
So him and Steve-O would be out in the bars in Westchester all the time. But that was back when Jackass was like huge.
Right.
And it was just like we'd run into him randomly. He wouldn't remember me.
Did you give him a hug?
Did you say, excuse me?
And it would say, I'm bacon.
That's when we should have approached this topic.
Yeah, you're right. Only a few years ago.
They would have sprung for it.
Yeah, you could have been on the next movie.
I would have done the next Jack. I would have done it for that. I would have done it for that.
There you go.
All right.
Because it would have been a nice amount of money involved and some
10
notoriety.
grand plus the removal after the
and
show's over.
whatever residuals come with it,
Yeah.
the notoriety and such.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Honestly, when you hear these stories about people that are making TV shows and movies and stuff, it's not necessarily getting the lump sum up front. It's just like the freaking lottery,
Yeah.
Take your money over the course of time because it's, as long as you remain alive,
Yeah, that's the key.
payout's a little bit better.
Because there is like the lottery curse. People have gotten lucky and won the lottery. Some people have won the lottery a few times, but their luck ran out and it ended up they lost their money out of some terrible, unfortunate circumstance, or somebody
Like
killed
Boeing.
them, or
Yeah.
like Boeing, whose stock went up the other day because they settled on the lawsuit for $200 and something million. And I was like, oh, well, that's all they had to pay out. That's good. Let's buy more stock.
And everybody went, yay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What about, speaking of implants, what about you, Brian?
Oh, I don't
Tell
have
us
any
about
implants.
your tattoos.
No implants here. I mean, I do my best to sculpt.
Don't cut that.
Sculpt. But so I do my best to sculpt.
God, say it one more time and I'll believe you.
But I don't have any implants. I don't know. Tattoos. So my history with tattoos actually goes beyond or before tattoos.
All right.
I got a bunch of piercings because I had a friend that worked at a shop. I got my eyebrow pierced for my 18th birthday.
Okay.
And
Would you get like a hoop or?
yeah. Well, they give you a hoop because you can
Just stud.
rotate it and it's easier to clean that way.
Yeah.
But honestly, I lost the little ball that went in between the things. And so it used to catch on stuff all the time. And so I put a barbell in it. But even the barbell would catch on
wasn't that
stuff.
heavy?
Wait, what is it? Hold on.
Strong. I'm down to get the friction on.
Hold on. What does it
he's not
catch
long.
on?
Like taking your shirt and putting it on. Like if you're just doing things quickly. Anyway, and it also never healed. I bet you if I still squeezed it, it would still put out pus. I took the long road on the piercing route and learned that just piercings aren't for me. But again, I had this friend that worked at the shop.
Did
so
you
it
get
was
other
like,
piercings?
I did.
What else?
I got 1, 2, 3.
You get your nose?
I didn't get my nose.
You get your lip?
No, actually, I got 4. I got both ears, but I got the cartilage. I didn't do my lip, but I did my labrae.
Uh-huh.
And
You still have a hole there.
I do.
Maybe that's why you
That's
can't
what I'm
grow a
saying.
beard there.
It's the soul patch, really, that I'm missing.
You are.
No, he's soulless. Okay.
Just let your soul glow.
I'm a natural blonde, okay?
Okay. So brainless and soulless.
Oh, my God. I'm making another drink. I don't have to sit here and take this for that long.
Oh my gosh. He seriously is walking away. Can you believe that, Bacon? Hey, Brian's back. All right.
All right, I'm back.
All right. So tell us about your tattoos.
I thought you wanted to hear about my implants.
No. Do you have implants?
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news.
Bacon, you're going to lose your brain editing this
going to be
episode.
miserable.
I'm so sorry. But it is funny.
It is funny.
You know, so
And true.
Yeah, exactly. And exciting. All right. So tell us about them. Come
So
on.
the piercings ended up leading into a tattoo. And I don't remember, I think it was the same shop that offered the piercings where my friend worked that I ended up getting the first tattoo.
Okay.
And I think I worked out a deal with her. I think I paid like $100 for it. And she did a great job. I mean, if you look at it, it's a running mushroom
Okay.
that's on the back of my calf.
I thought it was a penis.
That's a penis. You want to look at it again?
No, I know what it looks like. I can picture it in my brain. It's like it's a spotted dick.
So
With a smile.
yeah. So when I was 19, I remember around that time when I was getting the piercings or had the piercings, I was thinking that the next thing that I wanted to get was a tattoo, but I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to get. And I very clearly woke up out of a dream with this image and I was like, that's it. You know, something crazy, get it in a spot that I can cover up if I really need to. Not a big deal. On your calf, who gives a shit?
Sure.
So that's exactly what I did. I drew it out on loose leaf paper, gave it to them. They put it on the transfer, put it on my calf, did the thing. It was like a two-hour job, maybe. It wasn't expensive, and I was happy. Funny thing was, though, when I was still living at home at the time, and I did a pretty good job of wearing pants around the house, but then one day I wore shorts after it had fully healed. And I remember sitting in one of the chairs in the living room, and I just kind of had my like legs up on the chair, but the back of my calf was exposed, and my mom saw it. She said, "What's that?" She was like, "Is that a tattoo?" I was like, "No." I was like, "It's henna. It's temporary."
Whatever, Mom.
Whatever, Mom. Leave me
Jeez,
alone.
Mom.
And then she saw it like 2 2 years later. I was like, what is that? Is that the same one? I was like, yeah.
It's a penis.
I have a similar story, because I got home from my...
Jesus Christ. Mom, I'm different.
when I got home...
I can't conform to your lifestyle.
Then I got my tattoo, my first tattoo when I was 18. I got home probably 12:30 or 1 o'clock. My mom's usually in bed. Of course, that night she was awake. Couldn't sleep.
Did she give you a big hug, smell you, and you're like smelling like cigarettes?
I walked in and I had my sleeve rolled up because it was bandaged, and I was like, I was cool. I got my tattoo. And I walked in, and as soon as I opened the door, she opened up the other door, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Mom!" And she's like,
Is that a tattoo?
You're like, "No, Mom, I got in a bar fight. Go to bed."
This is what happens when I let you go out late.
that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get tattoos under street lamps out of suitcases.
On the recliner of my friend's dirty ass apartment.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep.
Actually, this guy I got
that?
in Canada.
What's that say?
So on my left bicep,
Canada.
I've got this tattoo. The letters are RNV, and the guy, his
What's
name.
that stand for?
I'm going to tell you in a second.
This is a
I'm
good
going to tell you in a
story.
second. So I took a trip to Toronto. I had a free weekend. This was several years ago.
Yep.
And had a free weekend, and I was looking for a concert. And I didn't just want to go to a local concert. I was trying to find a concert outside of the area, someplace I would have to travel to, but also someplace that, could just be a weekend trip where I come back on a Sunday kind of thing and go back to work on Monday. And so I found that there was a concert at the Budweiser Stadium in Toronto
Okay.
where Deftones, Bryce, and I can picture the band. Anyway, it was a fantastic concert. But I arrived in Toronto on a Friday, late Friday, and it's not a long flight. It's just past
Rise Against.
Rise Against.
Yeah.
Yes,
There it is.
fantastic concert. Loved the shit out of that concert. But the concert was on Sunday, and I was like, well, I'm going to make a whole weekend out of it because I had the whole weekend. Stopped at a cafe across the street from the convention center that wasn't far from like where my Airbnb was. And so I walked up to the convention center, and these guys were coming in with coffee, and I was just kind of walking with them, and I was like, what are you guys doing? And they were like, there's this big tattoo convention this weekend. I was like, oh, cool. So I was like, does it cost money to get in? I just had my backpack, with all my clothes and stuff in it. I didn't have like a suitcase or anything, light traveler. And walked in with them. They were like, yeah, just stay with us. You need a wristband, but you got long sleeves, and, so just act like you're with us, and we're bringing in coffee, and we'll, hang out. So I went in with some of the artists that were there just getting coffee, and went in there, and they let me in, and I wandered around, and there was a lot of crazy stuff happening. People getting tattooed on the spot. Wow. People had been waiting like 2 years to wind up at this convention to get tattooed by specific artists. So it was really cool. So we walked around, or I walked around, and found an artist. I talked to a few different people. They have their work. It looks like an art show, like a trade show.
Sure.
Is kind of what it is.
Yeah.
And then they have their artwork posted on the boards and stuff around
like a
them.
trifold behind them or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
And so I found an artist, or I found a few artists that I really liked, but everybody was booked through the entire weekend. And then I found this guy that had kind of what I was looking for, and he was an apprentice. His name was also Brian. And he was like, I'm booked. I asked him, and he was like, I'm booked for today. He was like, but if you come back tomorrow, then I can do it. And so I'm sitting down in the chair with this guy. His name's Brian. I used to follow him on Facebook, and until my account got hacked. Now I can't remember his last name, so there's no chance I'll be able to find him again. But he was doing the tattoo, and it's really a simple pattern. It's just block lettering.
Sure.
And I picked a very easy, thing, because that was the whole point, is that you were supposed to get this tattoo also, and I wanted to keep it simple. And I was like, if I get this, then you get that. It's easy because if you go to work, you just wear long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
Darn. Yeah, you missed it.
Oh, well. Anyway, continue.
You really jumped the shark.
What?
So the guy is doing the tattoo, to answer your question in the longest possible way, Bacon.
Indeed.
It's RNV. What does RNV stand for? He asked me that same question. And before I could answer him, We're talking about a matter of seconds. He goes, what does it stand for? Really nice vaginas? And I looked at him and I was like, yep. I was like, that's it. And he was like, no, come on, let me know. So we do this back and forth for like 20 minutes. And I was like, you realize I'm going to go back to the States and I'm never going to talk to you again. And you're going to be wondering if you had just waited for me to answer.
Yeah.
To know what the freaking, what it was.
But you were like, can I follow you on Facebook though?
Yeah.
Nice.
We talked after that. I still didn't tell him what it was, but yeah.
Wow.
That was a good story.
That's very cool.
I like that. It's, place in my heart. I also have a tattoo on the top shoulder of my old moniker.
Oh, what is that?
The old Andrew Fox box, Azure.
What's the V?
Prox.
If it's Andrew Fox, what's the V?
It's a magic eye. You have to cross your eyes and start real close and then work your way backwards to see the fox.
Oh, very cool. Tell us about the sleeve, because
So
that's got a lot of stuff on
The
it.
sleeve is an amazing tattoo.
It's
The
unreal.
the right side is covered with artwork that has taken several years to complete and is obviously the most, stands out the most.
It's really pretty.
It's usually what I get the commentary on.
The heart and the leaves on the agave heart are just so detailed, and I love the shading on it. It's amazing. It's a great tattoo.
You had the gecko first, though, right?
I had the gecko first.
He saved money on his car insurance.
Well, that's how you get a discount on his car insurance.
That's a whole nother story. I don't know how long you guys want to sit here and listen to that one.
Not very much longer.
You had
But I'll give you the
you had a
medium
flag of it,
version.
right?
Yeah, I did.
It was on a flag.
But the gecko was originally supposed to be on the back of my arm. So when I showed up for the appointment, it was a traveling artist. I talked to him for a few months, finally found a date that he was going to be in the DC area and went in there. And I told him I kind of wanted it here, but that was a little complex for the artist for what he wanted to do.
Okay.
And at the time, I had a nice blank canvas right here
Right
as he
there.
put it on my forearm on the flat part. So that's where he wanted to do it. And I was like,
Okay.
okay, fine. That's cool.
And then when you decided to do the sleeve, you wanted tequila and other stuff. What
that was the last. So that's kind of taking it all the way back to the mushroom guy or the spotted penis.
Spotted dick.
So I started the sleeve with my shoulder, and
As one does.
as one might, doesn't always.
right.
And I started with an idea there. And then the next year I got another idea. And then it rolled for, a total of 4 years where I just kept adding to it. And the artist, I kept going back to the same artist. He already kind of had a feel, even though these guys, they do it every day and multiple times a day. I'm pretty sure that my entire right arm, just the 4 components, shoulder, tricep, forearm, and then bicep, knees and toes, I think was about 36 hours if it were to be nonstop. God. So, and it was expensive too, but totally worth it. John Roberts over at Damascus Tattoo. I cannot speak any more highly about him. He's phenomenal.
Just to wrap it up, the guy who did my tattoo, his name is Killian. Killian from Blackwater Tattoo and Design in Sterling, Virginia. And
is he the one that's in jail?
no, he's not. He's totally out of jail. Really cool dude. And one thing about getting tattoos is you spend so much time with your tattoo artist in such a kind of a compact amount of time. I think my tattoo overall, I think I sat for 5 sessions. The first one was 8 hours. The next few were 2 or 3 or 4 hours at a time. And I think it was over 2 or 3 months.
So what plugs do we have? What do we have coming up, boys? I know that we're back in Dewey in September.
Hey, and every so often on Thursdays, Bacon and Brian, breakfast meats. Live, love, bacon.
Does that make you the sausage?
meat
Wasn't
sweats.
even on the list.
Breakfast. Are you the sausage?
Sure.
Attaboy.
Bacon and sausage.
You know what? Why
Sausage
don't
and
I be
bacon.
the biscuit?
Oh, you
be
know
the
what? He
bacon.
loves eggs. Bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs. Let's
green
do
eggs
it.
and ham.
Green eggs and these nuts.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Oh, sorry.
Don't forget, we have our beer release coming up in October. I think beginning of October.
We're working
at
on that,
Central.
but it's happening
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
And we also have our 10-year anniversary party coming
So
up.
October 26th, we're throwing a big bash. We're trying to figure out exactly what that's going to look like. We're trying to figure out the venue and the space in which we have to provide. But the intention is to bring all of our favorite fans and family members, people that have supported us over the last 10 years, to come out to the event to enjoy. We're going to be celebrating that space with Soho Down, Eric Shaw and Jen and everybody else in the band. So yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
And we actually have an interview
Coming up with Eric.
And yeah. So we've got some awesome interviews coming up. Bacon, what else we got? Anything?
No, I think that's it, guys.
All right. Well, hey, cheers to another awesome show, boys.
Yes.
A lot of fun. Hey, George, sing us home.
Oh, I get to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sing us home.
This episode of Podcast NV was brought to you by Bacon Wave Podcast Productions in association with Revelry Media Productions. Michael Bacon produced and engineered this podcast. Video provided by Brian Johnson. Please like, rate, or subscribe to Podcast NV. We love to hear from our listeners, so you can email us at feedback@podcastnv.com. Check out our website, podcastnv.com, and follow us on social media. We're at podcast.nv on TikTok or podcastrnv on Instagram. Thanks for listening.